Hey, all right, all right. No, but look on this screen. It looks perfect.
So what's the look there? Too dark?
For us, doesn't it? Don't I feel like I'm way over? Like feel like I look weird on here. I look weird everywhere. Anyways, happy Monday evening to everyone. This is the Pioneer Family Show. It's a Monday, but it feels like it's like 11 o'clock at night. I am not sure why. Definitely a tired feeling today. Welcome all. Like I say, this show works best when you guys participate. And tonight we're going to need you to really participate because we feel like sleeping and not talking. But that doesn't mean it's not going to be a good show. We'll start to say hello to everyone. Let's say hello to Michael Peevler. Good evening, Peevler. Mike Sheridan. Hello, hello, hello. Jennifer, she's still coming. Mike. Mike Parrish, how are you? Brian Mansker, all the way from Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome. Josh Tribley from Chicago, how are you? Tracy from Boston, how are you doing? And Dave Conover from Saskatchewan. Stan, how are you doing? I missed all the hoopla today. Well, Stan, the problem was you missed it because you weren't following the bouncing ball. You have to like, share, and subscribe, and just always have the phone on. If you do, like Michael Peevler, even when he's making cookies, he can watch the show. Sherry is with us. She says, hello. Hopefully, Sherry, your chicken was good that Dave made. And while I get to the chicken, you see, Sherry was at school today teaching the little kids. And Dave's trying to get brownie points because Dave wants to go on the Pigeon Boss tour. So while Sherry was working hard at work with the little ones, Dave was making her a very nice chicken and potatoes and vegetables for dinner to get some brownie points. And what are we talking about? Why did Dave do all this? It's not just because he loves his wife. It's because right here, he wants to go on the Pigeon Boss tour. You guys will see this in the, I will show this, the Racing Pigeon Digest here momentarily. But again, this is 13 days of fun. It's very cost efficient, super cost efficient, to be honest with you. $5,999. That's Canadian, and it gets you on this tour. Again, only 7 spots we are selling. So get your tickets now because, again, it has to be reserved, and seats are starting to be sold. Jay-Z, I haven't seen you in a while. Don't be down on losing your birds. You're going to have to pick up new other birds, and there's lots of birds to pick from, so don't get down. Remember, these birds are everyone's birds here at the Pioneer Village. Sherry, it was so yummy. That's good. Will says hello again. Your birds keep coming, Will. That's what you need. And there's our friend from Colorado, Jordan Poulsen on YouTube. How is it going? Oh, Nelson's Pigeon Loft says hello. Hey. Michael Peevler, I'm sure someone will get your ass fired up sooner or later. Oh, we don't know. Can't beat the European experience, as Rosedale says. And no, you guys, you really won't. You'll really enjoy it. Even if you only went for a couple days and just did the Fugare show and did a few of the little things, you would say, wow, that was worth it. But you're going to get 13 days. You're going to meet 10 of the best breeders in pigeon racing history. And you get to ask them questions. You're going to be at their place. In some of these lofts, you can't just go at all. They won't let you in. But because of Feathers Elite, you're going to be able to do that. So take the advantage while you can. Remember, all you got to do is just go to the bank and take out a small little loan. You can pay it back in chunks, and away you go.
The thing is, as well, is that if you book now for when? February?
Yep, for February.
You're going to get super deals. Super deals. If you wait, you could get half price on your flight.
Oh, 100%.
You know, half price. If you wait to book a week before, 2 weeks before, the price is going to... It's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, you do is you put your $1,500 deposit up now for your spot on the trip, which is non-refundable, and you go and you buy your flight. You get your flight done, and you're away to the races. And then you just make your payments up until the trip, and you're good to go.
Sometimes the deal is unbelievable.
It is.
You know, it's
It is.
an example. I fly with Flair down to New Brunswick, and flights September and October. If you look, you watch it, $59 to fly down. But if you call them up a day before, it's going to be $500.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's got to be smart buying. You know,
it's like anything. If you want to have a good experience at a good price, focus and book ahead. That's why we brought this out so early for people, because really it's not that early. And you guys will see it in the Racing Pigeon Digest. Some of our advertising will be in there. This month it wasn't in there because this is the month of, what is this? The month of August. So we're in September, October, November. We will be in this catalog here, this book, and pretty thin book, but
magazine.
So that's that for you. 50 miles again here today. Getting better, slow and steady. And Ricky, your red keeps on
coming.
We normally never have good luck with those reds. That color of red. So far, so good.
He's doing pretty good. He's always been doing good ever since he was a young fella.
Well, he's still pretty young.
He still is young, but he's got his girlfriend now, and he's doing real well. He's driving her on eggs, and even driving her, he's still doing good. You know,
right?
But let's see what happens, right?
Long way to go. We're only at 50 miles, and we'll be there again tomorrow. And if tomorrow goes well, we're going to go one more time back there, and that'll be the graduation. And then we move on to 80 miles. We're not going to beat a dead horse here. We want to get the activation going. Hopefully, if all goes well, we can have our activation of 100 miles on Sunday. I'd like to do that for Sunday. And that way people can get the payments in. Because once the birds hit 100 miles, we go back to the rock. And away we go. So you guys, if you have birds here now, start thinking, getting your payments together. Think about it now, because by Sunday, I'm pretty sure Sunday or Monday, but I'm aiming for Sunday to do the graduation. It's going to be a super nice week. There's no excuse. These birds can go every day. They come home. They get all they want to eat. And they still got lots of fly in them.
The weather's going to be super for the next, they say 8 to 10 days.
Yeah.
We're going to have some real nice weather. And
we're going to take advantage of that because, again, we want to get this boat in the water, I guess they should say. I heard Ricky's red is for sale. Oh, it's going to be for sale at the end of the season. Alfred is with us from the Netherlands. He says hello. Hello, Alfred. It's a quiet group today.
It's fall. It's starting to get to be fall, and people are starting to get sleepy. That's what it is.
Like, are we like bears or something? Like, we're getting sleepy?
Like, what's his name? He has who's sleepy and who
Michael Pievler. Yeah. Hey.
Sleepy, dopey, bashful, whatever.
That red from Michael Pievler came back yesterday. Mm-hmm. It was up here on the house roof, and it had a drink. And we know the
gone
bird
for a while, wasn't it?
Flew down to the board for a moment, and then it just went up, back to the barn.
Did it go today? Did it come? Didn't come
back. Didn't come in last night. Drinking out of the eave trough.
Just stopped in to see what condition.
How's everything going?
Condition was in.
Yeah. He wanted to see if any of his buddies were there. We have hi from the Philippines. Hello. Stan says hello to all. Rosedale says great weather right now. Well, get ahead of other OLRs. Oh, it's not a race. Oren, hello. How are you? Ola, I think you're from probably Hawaii. What was I gonna? We said something today on the show of a topic, and I can't remember what it was. We were talking about it there on the lawn. and I missed it.
I can't remember it.
I can't remember. But I'm actually been quite amazed at some of the birds that have come late, that have been gone for two weeks. They've come back in nice shape, and they've got back into training, and they're doing quite well. There is about 10 that stayed home. They're the last bird that clocked there today. It came in the dark, but the 10 before that, they were the ones that stayed home.
Some of them that come late like that, let's say a week or two, they get some pretty good experience out there on the road. Just as long as they don't learn too much bad habits.
We had that one that got covered in the oil.
Yeah.
He's training. Like it's quite something to see.
Well, I had an experience there last night. I don't know if I told you about it. Did I, Ryan?
So hold on. Rosedale says saved some birds in the York region, from what I understand. Rosedale, I don't understand what you're saying. Save some birds in the York region, from what I understand. Okay.
We had a bird last night landed here at 20 after 12, like after midnight.
20 after 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was out there I had to close up. And I always have the bright flashlight on, check the roofs all around, check the board, check around. No pigeons. Just going to walk up to the house, and I hear, because we got the metal roof, I hear bang, landed on the roof, 20 after 12.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's incredible.
Hold on, we had a question here. Josh Shirley says, can I ask the status of the bond race? Well, from what we know, we've all bought our spots for the bond race. And we are going to take the birds for the bond race. I have called the president of the Borden Club, Mario Ray, which actually, give me your phone, Ricky, because we could, or give me that phone. And it
would be so nice to have the president of the Borden Bond Club to come on for
promoting their race.
5 or 10 minutes here. It'd be so wonderful.
And if you guys here, let's see here, the Up North Racing Pigeon Combine. Again, it's kind of crappy that the Canadians took the name of the British, the Up North Combines in the UK.
Oh,
the Canadians, we couldn't come up with a better one. But I did want to do this for you all. So I always say face to name, right? You always want to see the face. I think it's good. So we'll just what we'll do is we'll switch it around here, folks. We're going to get to your comments. Mary, don't worry. Mary, good job. You've kept us on the track. Oh, no, that's Bruce. That's Bruce Maters. That's their president. We don't want to look at him. There he is. This is the president of the... This is the vice president of the Up North Combine and the president of the Borden Club. His name is Mario Ray. There's his phone number. I've called him a few times. We've had some discussions, and I've called him a few more times with no feedback. But there you go. There he is, face to name. So there you can see him. I called. I left a couple messages. I haven't heard back, but all I know is we're going to the bond race. And hopefully that answers your questions. Again, we're just here to race pigeons, but we do welcome Mario Ray and the Borden Racing Pigeon Club to come on and promote their race.
I think next Monday night show,
we could ask. Should we?
Could be on the show with us.
Hold on.
Great.
Hold on. Well, we may think it's good, but who are we? We care about what our viewers think. So if you guys want Mario Ray to come on, please write down Mario Ray's name with a thumbs up.
Rhea.
Ray. I don't know. R-E-A.
Oh, that's like Ray, I guess.
Rhea, Mario. Okay. You guys can post his name in, and then that way we know if you want him on. And again, send us send me messages and just send me as many messages you want, wanting him to come on, and we'll get him on. We'll sit down here. I think we got enough room at the table. We can make it happen. Because again,
he's got a great race going. How many years has he been doing it now?
5 or 6 years.
Yeah, and great race. And we're really looking forward to getting on this, going in this race. Is beautiful.
Yeah, we're working on getting there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that's what we're going to do. Mike Sharon says Ratter's birds. Yeah, something going on with Henry Ratter. Got his birds back in the York region, and I had something to do with it. I don't know what I did or if I did anything, but that's good. Mary Cavender says, why do birds get lost? Well, that's the topic. Oh, that's a good topic. Okay, wait. So we'll get to that in a second. So that's the first topic we're going to fire off. So you can think about that for a second, Ricky. You were behind it. Read the local article. I was behind it. Can you fucking imagine? I did something good for the sport.
For what?
Hey, look at that. We should ask those guys, eh? Bruce and Mario.
Mm-hmm.
We were behind it.
They got an article?
Yeah, there's an article. Okay, so hold on. Have you ever seen young birds that can't stand on their legs? Parents abandon the babies. So let's think of that. So we've got Mary. We talked about why are birds getting lost. We're going to get to that. Let you guys think so you guys can have your comments. But this one here is, I think, maybe a quick one. Ricky, I'll let you take it. Have you ever seen young birds that can't stand on their legs? Parents abandon the babies.
Is that not like a salmonella?
I think it's salmonella.
Age?
I think it's salmonella. And again, as long as the legs are like this, right? Mm-hmm. That means the birds have nesting material. Not that they're on a bowl, like, or on a piece of...
Without anything,
and the legs go like this, then they can't stand.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
So that's what I would think. Now, you guys, lots of people breed youngsters. Have you seen this? And what do you think it is? I could share a video maybe. Hey, I think that's great. If you send me a video next week, I'll show it. Remember, keep your phone sideways, hold it still, 30 seconds. That's it. Okay. One Loft Racing. How many pigeons do you have left from the Borden auction? Oh, I don't know, 6 or 7, plus all the birds that have been entered, all the little green dots. So let's see. We've got lots of, I mean, how many do we need?
You only need
1.
You got 6. Take the first 6 positions.
Oh,
that's it.
What do we got here? Win, W-I-N, P-I-O-N, Win Companion. Let's go on to here. Win Companion. Sorry, guys, I'm sort of working on the fly. Now, and I will get to this here now, all the little green dots that you all see, all the little green dots, let's just settle it down here. All the little green dots are birds that have been paid to go into the Borden, which in the Borden's rules, on shipping night, we are going to arrive with all these extra green dotted pigeons, and they will be entered into the Borden as well. Because like they said on the video when we were recording, you can bring your birds the night of shipping and enter them for $25 a pigeon. As long as they're on a proper clocking system like benzing, they will be accepted among the birds that were purchased. So the green dots don't lie. We've got bullets here in the gun. That's good. Let's see what the clock says. And there are, 132. See, we had another one come in just at dark again, eh? Boy, oh boy, who was that? Who's the last bird of the day?
It was a checker.
Stingray Lofts. He's the last one with Heather. So let's get back to the comments. And that's a good question. Mike Parrish says, get him on. So Mike Parrish wants him on. Will says, bring him on. Good evening, gentlemen. Don Meredith. Henry Ratter rhymes with ladder. What the hell did you do now? We didn't do anything yet. Oh, you're talking about, apparently, I don't know. So last year, and I'm going to get to Mary's comment. Again, guys, think about this. Why are so many birds getting lost? What were we just saying here? Shit. I just had a...
Why are birds getting lost?
No. We were just... okay, about this Henry Ratter thing. So Henry Ratter in the town he lives, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, they're not allowing people to keep pigeons there. They jump through hoops. They try and stop them. You know, all the bullshit. So I was in Belgium last year, and I'm driving, and I get a phone call from a woman from the newspaper, from the local area. And she starts...
Georgina.
Yeah. So she starts talking to me about pigeon racing, and she wanted to do a big article or whatever, and how do we help this Henry guy? It's not right. And I said, well, Henry, he's got to stand up for himself, and he should do the article. And that's what I said. And I told her all the good points and how good it is for families, and it's a really good backyard sport. And I gave her all the good stuff to it. And I talked to her long distance for almost an hour and a half, which it's not cheap. But I talked to her, and I didn't hear anything back. I called Henry, and I said, hey, Henry, do me a favor. Talk to this lady. Henry originally didn't want to talk to her. He said, I'm not going to talk until
the town makes a
decision.
Right.
I said to Henry, I think that's a shitty move. I would stand up for yourself and get the word out there and say, fuck it, let's go. But Henry did what he wanted, and I didn't hear back from it. But now I hear that Henry can keep his birds, and maybe the article helped.
Everything's good.
And that's good. So however it happened, it happened. Sorry, my birds were not good for your race. See, now ABC lost. That there is that comment doesn't work for me. Because your birds weren't good for my loft. You could walk out on the sidewalk tomorrow and get hit by a car. I mean, things happen. You got to keep playing. You know, one year we win the Holiday Cup. The next year we win the Holiday Cup. The next year we put 75 birds out. We don't get one bird to activation. You have to lose to win. You have to try and test and keep going.
I think this year there's been a lot of losses in birds. And you can name some names and people that have been in this race even. You know, I started off with 34 youngsters. I'm down to 8 now.
Right.
Right? I'm happy about it.
Hold on. You had pigeons how many years?
Quite a few years.
Quite a few years. 40 years, 50 years.
60 years.
ABC Loft, 40
years.
40 or 35 youngsters, he's down to 8. Can you tell me, not the 8 that you have, can you tell me the 28 that you lost? You tell me anything about them?
You forget them quick.
Forget about them.
Forget them real quick.
Do you think it'll be the same thing next year, or will it be better? Who knows?
The 8 I have are the ones that are working. That's it. That's all I care about, right?
Right.
That's it. The 8 I have, and I'm going to work them right to the end.
Right.
With respect.
Right. And it's the same thing, guys. I'm going to use somebody like Brian Mansker. Last year, he sent 2 pigeons. He finished the season, but he had tough. His birds weren't up at the top. Now, this year, he sent me 7 pigeons. He's got 6 pigeons left. He's handling it great. But this could be his season. So you have to keep playing the game. And I know what people say, well, why is this race so tough? It's not tough. We're just showing it to you. Take a look at On Win Companion, okay? Take a look, and I'm going to show you. Because some of you people, I don't think, understand. There are all the races. There's all the races. How much do they all show you? How much do they all show you? How far will they show you? How far will they take you along? I know we show you far too much, but we do it because this is called honesty, and it's a real race. You can ask, ask Rosedale Loft. There's 2 other one-loft races here in Canada. I don't know what they're waiting for. They don't even do inventory. One's got 1,200 birds. One's got 400 birds. We're going to be at 100 miles by the end of the week. They haven't even trained.
I think the one with 400 miles, they usually have
400 birds.
Or 400 birds. They usually have their race, what, the second or third week of September?
Of September.
Okay. They made an announcement a few days ago. The birds are starting to loft fly.
Yeah, birds
a few days ago.
Yeah, I read on an update. Starting to kit.
A few days ago. Now, you talked with what's his name from Ireland there? What's his name from Ireland, Scotland? Top notch.
Oh, Derek Walsh. Yeah.
Derek Walsh, top notch young bird flyer.
We got lots of comments.
He says in a nice communication, 60 tosses for my young birds before they hit the first race. 60 tosses before they hit 100 miles. Well, we're talking about one loft race. This guy's got 400 birds. He's going to start racing in 3 weeks, and they're just starting to loft fly.
Yeah.
Oh, can you? Okay.
And that's not none of us to.
No,
we don't care.
No.
But why is our race difficult?
Because we show reality.
We're out there racing pigeons.
Reality.
We're racing pigeons. Yeah. We're racing. That's what we're doing.
Reality.
And what makes it hard is it's easy for me to write on a message board and not show you nothing. Let them out for a loft line, clock them, and everything looks good. Now, I'm not saying all the races do that at all. I'm not saying it. We let the birds out at 40, 50, 60, 100 miles, 20 miles, 2 miles. We drive home with you. So you see what the birds see. So you see, hey, he drove 50 miles, it took him an hour. Yeah, that's about right. He went 80 miles, it took him an hour and 20 minutes. I was on the show. I looked at the clouds. I looked at the rain. I looked at the wind. I looked where he released them. You're getting real. And that's where it's hard, because in reality, it's very hard to swallow reality.
It's real. Talk to a fellow I know. He took took 60 birds out for a training toss. It was at 25 miles. He let them go in 2 separate groups, 30 and 30. He lost 30 in one shot. Done.
Okay, so
that's reality in pigeon flying. When you're a pigeon keeper, that's reality.
Right.
The other one loft race there, somewhere over there, he still hasn't done an inventory.
Well, they won't.
Jumping catfish, come on.
Hey, so Josh Tribley says the bird probably has spread legs or spraddle legs. You can fix it, but it's not worth the time. No, it's not. Richie Wood says calcium D3 deficiency. Okay. I don't think I haven't had one. Again, we give lots of grits and minerals, and you'll get the calcium from that. Rosedale Loss, you did a lot of good for the sport. Well, thank you, Rosedale. The excuse towel will tell us why birds get lost. The excuse towel is 100% right.
Yeah.
Rosedale, as they say, back to the drawing board. That was a nonsense excuse. Yes. Well, hey, ABC lost. You got called out by Peevler on that one. We will do better next time. And that's all you can do. And like I said, you can send birds to the California Classic, 1 bird, and you'll win the whole thing. You'll win $100,000. And you're going to feel invincible. And you'll send birds the next year out, and you'll be dead last. And you'll send birds the next year out, you'll be dead last. So to be a winner, you're going to lose. You have to lose a hell of a lot. And that's why don't judge everything off of one loft racing. Fly the birds at home. When you fly the birds at home, you are your own loft. You're testing your shit. Don't believe the races. This one you can believe, because we're going to show you. But don't believe all the races, because they're going to pull the wool over your eyes, take your money out of your pocket, and around we go. Okay, Alfred says, the big winners know how to lose. That's right. That's how you learn to be a big winner. You learn from your mistakes. Rosedale said he honestly bred 13 birds this year, and he's got 2 birds left. Matthew says, Ray, looking good. Would you do the light system again or no? Yeah, the light system, good. Leave the lights on, it's fine. No pulling flights, no nothing. Next year, completely, we're going to let them go completely natural. Birds don't get lost. They are, Mike Vandriak is chiming in on the birds don't get lost, or the lost birds, so this will be a good one. Birds don't get lost. They are born with the instinct to home. When they don't come home, it's because they can't, e.g. dead or have chosen to do something else.
You know what? I believe what Mike says. Whenever you let your pigeons out for a loft fly,
Okay.
they're not yours until they come back and land on that board. And I think sometimes pigeons, they have to make up their mind. And they say, I'm not doing this.
Right.
You know, they make up their mind that they're not going to function and do this. And you know, you see that with some birds here. Some of them don't want to fly off the roof.
You know, and to actually, so you guys can comprehend this, we had a couple pigeons in 2008 and 2009. We had a 12 bird old bird team, and we had the 3rd champion bird in the combine, the yearling. And we had the marathon man, and we had the roller. We had a couple top 10 or 20 position pigeons. Yeah. And we had raced them. Every race is a young bird. 8 weeks or 10 weeks in a row we raced. Yeah. Then as yearlings, we pushed them from 100 miles to 550 miles, long whack, 12 weeks in a row, all those pigeons. And the ace pigeons, those 3 or 4 super good pigeons that we had, the next season, we got them back on the bike again. We decided, well, we're going to play the game again. We got about halfway through. When we got to, 350 miles, the good yearling, normally he hit the board. He'd hit the board when he come. He'd hit the board. He'd hit the board. What did he do?
Gave up.
Come and land on the roof. Just sit there on the roof. Not like him. And the marathon man sort of act a bit different. You could see you took the spirit, you pushed
gave up.
Too much. So they say, some of these guys say only so many miles
on the wing.
On the wing. And again, we pushed them, guys, I'm not joking, 12 weeks from 100 miles right to 550 miles. We did that with yearlings. You know, you don't fly yearlings out that far, but we did. And we learned from it. And it's the same thing with losing pigeons. Pigeons, there's a point where they say, I'm not here to race. I don't even like it here. Or I like it here. Or I don't like it here. Or I don't have it in me. Just like when we open the trailer. Why do some pigeons sit there and say, no, I'm not going.
I'm not coming out.
They're so goddamn, but you can come home. Yeah, okay, I get the stick and get them out when I come home. But I come home after 5 minutes of opening it up here. They come out, they know where they are. Okay, let's get back to this. E-R-I-O-N. How would you pronounce this name? Oren? Aaron? Erin? Thanks, Josh Tribbley. Yeah, thank you, Josh. They show shit, the other races. Hey, they show more than enough. Because if you look at the numbers, everyone keeps going back. The problem is us, you and me, not them. Going to smoke them? Oh, I don't know. I don't think we're going to smoke. We're just going to try and get there first. Agreed, Stan. I'm not complaining about what is happening. I wouldn't expect anyone to complain. I give somebody birds to fly, go and fly them. If my birds can't fly in your loft, my birds couldn't handle your system. Do you have birds left, sir? Yeah, okay. My birds didn't hack it. This year they didn't hack it. I never try and correct. When you send, you don't correct. I'm not telling the guy how to fly. Richie Wood says, the truth and transparency will prosper. Sometimes I don't know about that one. I really don't. Will says, tell us about the bird that won in San Diego. That was a pretty good bird. We won the Holiday Cup twice. The first time we sent 2 pigeons, and one was Miss San Diego. And that was actually quite fun because that race there, the cutoff was July 1st for replacements. And we sent 2 pigeons there. We sent 2 birds there, and we sent 4 birds or 5 birds to the Triple Crown. And the birds that we sent to the Holiday Cup, they got there, and the birds are already loft flying. These birds were pretty young. And that hen, we called her Miss San Diego. As soon as he started training, right from 5 miles, she was like the first bird in the clock. And we joked. We like the first 3 tosses, she was like first, second, third. There was like 500 birds. And then
And what's Bob Biden said to you? Oh, that's just luck. Remember?
Yeah,
just luck.
That's just luck. And we laughed about it. Then she went to 10 miles and she was 7th. Then she went to 20 miles and then she was 1st. Then she went to 10 miles and she was 8th. Then she went to 25 miles and she was 3rd. But by the time she went, she did the whole season of training. She had like 8 firsts in the clock, which was incredible. She went to the 100-mile. The first 150-mile race, she was 1st. And then on the second race, it was the only time she'd ever blundered. She came 40 minutes late, all by herself. 1 week later, we flew down for the whole weekend. And in that week of training, he had 150-mile toss, and she was 1st. And I remember going, and pretty exciting.
You got 12 pigeons on a drop.
No. We were at the night of basking. You got to handle your pigeon.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And when he called me up to get to handle the pigeon, put the pigeon in my hands. It was the greatest pigeon I'd ever felt. She was a 12 plus, and he said to me, I don't think there's anybody that can beat this pigeon. Mm-hmm. And I know Patty Gage was there with the camera. I took a picture with the pigeon, which is like, we're talking, you don't do these things. Mm-hmm. The bird went in the loft auction. We bought the loft. The bird was pulled against the board, everything. Well, I was sitting there. It was 310 miles. And 12 birds came on the drop, or 10 birds came on the drop. There she was in front of them. And she landed. I knew we seen how she did it. She would only land on the pad. She'd never land on the board. She'd always land on the pad. And she was 1st. She won all that money and super. And I talked to that Ahmad guy that was running the race, and he said her only screw up was one time she went around the mountain the wrong way. He said she could have been out in front and picked a different pass because she come 40 minutes by herself. Mm-hmm. And what a pigeon that was. That's the story on that pigeon. Let's get back to it. Jesse Catania. Guys, if you guys don't know this prick, I'll tell you about him. Last year, Jesse Catania, he had a pigeon, Absolute Pepsi, won all the money here. It was a top 2 or 3 bird. It won $10,000 and change. Absolute Pepsi. He started with 80 birds. After 4 races, he's got 32 left. There you go, right? Had to knock off the mother of the 2 I have left, okay? Tracy says, it's like the Amish kid that got out into the world and didn't come back. Kind of like the Amish kids. Yeah. Oh, shit, Tracy. That was a good one.
That's good, yeah.
Sounds like MOB hit. Okay, maybe. Jesse Catania, after 4 races, he's got 32 left. No sick allowed. Okay. Dave Conover says, Ricky is 100% right. They decide another life. Doesn't mean they're no good. That bird wanted another way. That's right. That's it. Why do people change jobs? Think about it. Well, pigeon's allowed to make the choice too. Stan says, all my birds were bought through USA, all my birds were bought in the US to enter the race. Okay, that's another way to do it. Oh boy. Eddie Ortiz. Oh, Eddie got us onto this subject about losing birds. Eddie says, hi, and he says, had our first race this weekend with many losses. I did well, but one guy had 1 out of 50. Another guy had 1 out of 26. Guys had some following days. Some guys didn't ship because of bad tosses. Okay. Nobody cares about how the other races operate. Only the fantasy of winning 200K like drug addicts. And again, I think about this. Have you guys ever thought about this? Why do one-off races have to have 1,000, 10,000 pigeons? Could you imagine if you could send, the loft only holds 100 pigeons and each guy can send 1 pigeon. You put 2,000 or you put $1,000 on, the pot's big. The loft manager can really manage the pigeons, work the pigeons, handle the pigeons. When you have 10,000 pigeons, you're not handling anything.
It's
when you have 1,000 pigeons, it's very hard to handle all the pigeons. You know, I still think this big number shit is a lot of shit. It's different when you're racing and you have your group of 50 and that group of 50 and that guy's got his group. You all race against each other. That's one thing.
It's like teams, individual teams.
But I think smaller one-off races can be actually better. The pigeons, you can test them, work them. They'll loft fly better. Everything's better. Okay. Matthew said, okay, hold on. Eddie says, I think there's something in the air. Eddie also says, many bad tosses with birds coming home all day long. This is different flyers. I think pigeon men do a lot of this. That's good. Reading a book is good. But I think hands-on and letting the pigeons get educated. Think about it. On this show, I want the birds to train and come straight home. Train and come straight home. Train and come straight home. It looks good. It looks like I'm a good handler. But in reality, they're not learning anything, are they?
No, I don't. In these training tosses, I don't want to see them come home as much like bullets.
Right.
I'd sooner see them come home in little groups, like they're 5 birds, 10 birds, 15 birds. They learn more at this stage of the game. If they come always in one group, they don't learn anything. They're just straight home. They don't learn. The only way to learn how to crack eggs, for example, the first egg you crack never cracks right. The next one never cracks right. But if you watch a guy that's been in the bake shop, he can crack eggs and talk to you and crack eggs. Everyone goes perfect. Why? Because he had experience. He made a lot of screw ups. And then finally it becomes like a natural thing. And I think with the pigeons, it's the same thing. You can't, these screw ups, you can't, in training tosses, if they always say, oh, I took him 50 miles. Every time he comes 50 minutes. Every time he comes 50 minutes. He never screws up. But I don't like that. But
training is not only taking them down the road. How many guys have you heard of this, Richard? The wind today is 50 mile an hour, 70 kilometers blowing. It's beautiful out. Man, there's a wind, like it's hard winds. I'm going to leave the birds in today. Oh, it's going to rain today. I'm going to leave the birds in today. Oh, it's hot. I'm going to leave the birds in today. I only train them at 6 o'clock in the morning. I only give them education.
Variety.
The wild pigeon, he gets up at 6, he flies to the field, he flies home. pumps his babies, flies back to the field at 10, flies back at 2 o'clock, flies back. Wind, rain, sleet, snow, bullshit. The damn pigeon to live has to be able to work in all the conditions. And what do most pigeon men do? Now, I like Brian Mansker. He said to me, Ryan, I didn't train my birds this week. 3 days I didn't train them. And I'm using Brian's name because he's on our show. Okay, why? Well, it's 116 degrees. That's fucking hot. That's hot, boy. That's super hot. I let them loft fly. That's good, you let them loft fly. You let them loft fly. They're sitting in the loft. They know the heat. I say, hey, you don't have to take them 50 miles. You can take them 10 miles. You take them 5 miles to condition it, to condition it, to condition it. It helps. You're help educating. Because if the whole season you get those days, or you get that day, and you haven't educated them at all on how to do it, they will crumble. And I think what a lot of guys do is they baby the pigeons. It's not a perfect day, we don't take them. Oops, it's after 8 o'clock in the morning, it's too late. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I know fellas that say, oh, I had my blue bar. This blue bar came great. Oh, 160 miles. It was 5th in the club. I'm stocking. I'm going to put them right away. I'm going to stock them. It's out of my good pair from so-and-so. I'm going to stock that thing. That's it.
Now,
hey, it's got another 5 or 6 races to go. Why are you stocking it? Fly it right to the end. Guys say, are you interested in selling the red cock? He's done good. He's showing signs of doing very well. Okay?
Right.
Yeah. When he finishes the job, when he's finished the damn job, then maybe I'll sell him.
Let me ask you a question. Tomorrow if we take him, he comes 5 hours late. The next day we take him, he comes the next day. The next day we take him, it takes him a week. Then the next time we take him, he don't come back. Or, like, they're not worth it. You have to test them.
He's going to go in the garden.
More tests. Let's see. We got a lot of comments, so we keep moving. ABC Law says, how far would you train for a 150-mile race?
I train him up to 80 miles.
You go 50 to 80, or if you want to go to 100, great. I think the sweet spot is about the 80 to 100 miles. That really tells you what you have in these pigeons. Okay, they can focus. These birds here that we have, we're seeing them now at 50 miles. They're starting to focus now. Birds were coming in a race time miles, and some birds came home in 2.5 hours. That's not the same 2 hours.
2 hours, I like to see them 80 to 100 miles in a headwind.
Even better.
That's good.
Even better. Okay. Maybe so many losses because birds are overfed. Yeah, maybe birds are overfed.
100%.
Right. And again,
guys don't loft fly enough. They overfeed them. I think overfeeding is very bad.
Right.
Very bad.
They're feeding way too heavy, too much. One Loft Racing says, Africa Pro, 20 bird limit, having a great season. Well, if you're having a great season there, then that's good. Again, I don't follow the race. I was turned off when the race said you had to put a fucking resume in. You have to submit this is the first gimmick. This is when I know it's bullshit. When you have to put a resume in to get into the race. And then they realized we don't have enough birds. So we take the resumes, throw it away, they let anyone in. You said you wanted a resume of the best, but that's not what you wanted. You wanted the money. So let's just say we wanted the money, not the fucking resume. That's it.
I hate these resumes in clubs.
Yeah.
And combines. I hate these resumes. I want to fly pigeons in this club local to me. Well, you got to put a resume in. Man. Well, what do you got to put on there? My name's Joe Blow. Okay, I got a speeding ticket, a parking ticket. I got child molesting. What do you want on my resume? I hate doing dishes. I hate washing cars. I'm lazy. I let my lawn go. All I want to do is fly pigeons. Why do you need my resume? Why do you need me? My resume. I'm living here. I pay my taxes, and I'm a living person. And I keep pigeons. You need a resume? Why? Because you don't like my last name?
But
This is bullshit.
And I'm not knocking Africa Pro.
I'm getting fired up now.
But Africa Pro, that was a very good. They didn't want the riffraff coming in, which you had to put a resume, and they were going to look at it and say, if you won enough races, okay, fine, that's fine, but stick to it. But when they didn't get it, they built the big, beautiful Hollywood loft, right? Guess what they did? They canceled that out, put that to the side, and opened it up for everyone. And that's great.
What? You're saying riffraff. I knew guys that flew pigeons.
No.
They didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out, but
Hold
they
on.
love flying pigeons.
Hold on.
And they won races feeding them on bread.
They didn't want the people that had never won a race putting 20 birds in.
Oh, really?
They didn't want that. That's the riffraff they were talking about. But then what happened was, they didn't care, because guess what? There's a lot of guys that can't win a pigeon race, but they got lots of money, don't they? Because all it is a casino.
Oh,
and that's good.
It's a crock of shit. We had guys here. I'm not going to mention any names.
Hold on. Can I keep reading? Can I keep reading?
If you were not a certain religion, you weren't allowed to go and visit another pigeon club.
We're not bringing religion.
I'm not going to bring that, but I'm saying, excuse me, I think you guys, whoever out there, if you're listening,
hold on.
We're flying pigeons, man.
Stan says there could be something to that. I'm going to say something. I watched an interview with some old-time soccer players, guys that had retired.
I was thinking of that.
Okay, hold on. I went to a local soccer field a couple of years ago, and they got this beautiful turf now. Mm-hmm. This shit's beautiful, man. Mm-hmm. The ball, it bounces to you. You can read. It's like reading. You don't have to read. She's just so easy. And there was a guy on Facebook, they did an interview with him, and the guy said, do you think it's good to train on bad fields? And he said, I only ever train on bad fields.
That's right.
When I learned how to train on a bad field, rain, muck, snow, divots, holes, my body gets stronger. I can read the ball better. Yeah. I have better control. I can dribble better. And you want to know what today's modern day candy-ass kids are playing on?
On
perfect. Their control looks real good. It does. But you put them on a shitbox field and you watch. They'll have no control. And do you want to know why? Because they don't train. They don't train on all the conditions. You want to be success? I think you got to train them to succeed. That's me, though. Again, a lot of books say a lot of things.
A book will tell you how to crack an egg to make the cake, but you ain't going to be cracking eggs real good until you actually crack them yourself.
And you know, another
right?
Thing, yeah,
that's right.
100%.
Yeah, you can watch a
do you know? I'm good at cooking. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty good. Mm-hmm. I love watching on TV them crack the eggs with one hand. I must have cracked already 500 eggs. Do you know every time I try and do it with one hand, I still can't do it. I get eggshells in.
Listen, buddy, I know people that can crack 3 eggs in one shot.
Boom, I know.
Boom, right in.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, right.
I am.
Okay.
Mike or Rosedale Law says 5 bird maximum with a deadline, pay to play. My race ever moving forward will be all the money comes up front. It's better. Number one reason for the pigeons, and for me too. No one works for free. But I think the pigeons, whatever is left at the end, they should fly for the money that starts with all the birds. That's my thought. If they don't come straight home from training, they are learning bad habits. Nothing good. Well,
I disagree with that.
Mike, I'm going to tell you something.
I disagree with that.
So how
I disagree with that.
That's 100%. They're learning bad habits. So I I don't know.
They
It's the
can't-
perfection.
They can be learning some bad habits if he doesn't come home with the group and he flies over there and lands on the barn. Yeah, he is learning a bad habit. But if he flies over there just because something happened,
I just
and he learns, he's learning.
Mike, you almost sound like to me that every time your birds go down that road, bang, it's perfection. Bang, it's perfection. Are you telling me every time you take them out, it's perfection? Because that's basically what you just told ABC Lofts. It's perfection. I'm not so sure about perfection, Mike. I think the pigeons, hey, what's a good learning? I took them 2 miles. The first time they took 25 minutes. By the fourth time, they do it in 3 minutes. They're learning. Are they not learning? I don't think you could take them 2 miles, and the first time they'll be home in a half a minute.
I seen pigeons. I took them a couple miles, and I watched them. I was coming down the road. I watched the darn things. A group of 40 birds flew right past my loft, and they came back 45 minutes later. If I wouldn't have seen them go over, I'd have said, oh, they got lost. Or they're stupid.
Hold on.
They're just playing around.
Hold on.
And young pigeons, they're in a teenage stage in their life. And the thing is, the way I look at it is, it's like a teenager. He's 15, 16, 17, teenager. Let the guy go out and explore the town a little bit. Tell him, hey, be good. Don't get in trouble. But go and explore. But you don't keep, I don't believe, you don't keep that kid in a box till he's 21 now. Say, now you're a man. Time to go out. I'm just saying, to go out and learn to explore is very good. And young pigeons is the same thing.
So Mike, the other thing, Mike says this.
A racehorse. What do they say about racehorses?
You gotta learn how to run.
You got to make them first be a horse before you start to do your shit.
So Rosedale Lofts, Rosedale doesn't agree with Mike. And Mike Vandriak says to Rosedale Lofts, you are not the only one who does. Tell me if a bird takes 2 hours to come home from 20 miles. What did it learn? So, Mike, are you saying, should we get the garbage can out, Mike? Because every fucking one will be put in the ground. Mike, I'm going to come to your loft, and I'm going to sit there, and I'm going to judge. I want to see perfection. Big time perfection. Right from the word go. And every time it's not, Mike, you know what we're going to say? Fuck it. Bad habit. Put in the ground. You want to know what you'll be left with, Mike? You know what you'll be left with in pigeons? That many. Because perfection doesn't happen right from the word go. I'm naturally right-footed, Mike. He's naturally left-footed. By the time I was done, I was as good with my left as I was with my right. But naturally, when I first started, I couldn't use the left foot. What is that?
So you learned.
You learned. A lot of fuck-ups, but you learn. You learn. Mike, your blue cock that keeps coming. Why does he come now?
Because he's a yearling, and
But why?
He did all his bad shit when he was a kid, a young guy.
I'm surprised he hasn't quit yet.
No, and he's still coming.
But he'll go the distance. Let's see when he quits.
Listen.
And you know what?
Listen.
I'm going to see if this bird can do it, and I hope he does.
Let's use an example. A roofer with nails doing shingles.
Amen, Ricky.
I've seen him. God, the guy picks up nails. He goes like this in between his fingers, and he goes like this. Talks to you. Bang, 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 whoop, bang, bang, bang. Now, that same roofer, when he started, do you know how many nails he lost because he was beating his hand instead of the friggin' nail? But after a while, through experience of learning, he became the best.
Right.
Or you know, I think you have to learn from.
Now, some good questions here. We're going to keep going through the comments. You guys are participating. This is why this is the best show. And we're all not supposed to agree. and we can disagree. And there's some things I think I agree with, some I don't. I agree with all different people. Now, hold on.
I think what Mike's saying, okay, if you got pigeons coming and you see, let's just use the red. The group comes mainly, he's always coming 3 hours after. Every time 3 hours after. Every time 3 hours after. Well, you know, this guy here,
he's got a bad habit. We get that.
Yeah. I think that's what Mike's sort of saying.
And I think because you are reading the message, you have to learn to see when are they're learning and when are they learning bad habits.
That's right.
Same thing. We have 500 birds here. 500 birds. Had one that sat on the wire. We had one. It was a white. He's not here now. He's gone. Naturally, he just training or whatever, gone. Only one bird sit on the wire. But you could easily get 100 sitting on the wire. That bird had a bad habit. That was a bad habit. Dave Conover says, when do you start giving the birds water before you release? Birds will get water before they release if they spend the night in the truck. Water's at home. They drink when they come home from training. Birds were loaded today at 9. I was outside working. They were outside with me. They were in the truck, in the baskets, getting nice and warm. We let them out. They come home. They have water. I thought actually today with the temperature, I liked how they landed. No birds are puffing. No birds are super hot. Again, once we get to the first race, we'll drink them in the truck. These birds here, pretty much, they'll get it like that. I will give them to them probably one time here in the yard, but other than that, they know how to drink. And the water's right in front of them. But I don't water them before training ever. Rosedale says, learn how to run and play on sand. The graduation angel has landed. The guardian has landed. The guardian angel has landed. Oh boy. Here we go. I would like to say, depending on where they are training. Yeah. If the birds spend a night in the truck, the next morning we're going to give them water. Tomorrow, a basket at 9 in the morning, they have water up until we basket. Then they kind of go on a purge. They wait. They get conditioned to the heat. My birds are not perfect, and neither am I, but I am, Mike says this, but I am trying to get them to come straight home from every training toss. Well, Mike, we get that. You want them to come home from every training toss, but I will tell you something. Ready?
That's the goal.
Watch and listen to this. Last year's Pioneer training, man, they were good. Boom, 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 boom. Boy, it was easy. They were so good. They were so good. They made me run this race without taking perch fee up front. That's how damn good they were. They made me a believer. Right. But Latchford, 60th time or 40th time or 50th time down the road with 5 races under their belts, all different weather condition. Those 250 birds, that was the first time they had a little bit of what we call wasn't perfect. And guess what they did, Mike? That was it. And I believe they did that because everything was perfect. I think a good screw up.
Well, it was overcast that day.
I'm not saying.
And that maybe,
I don't know.
Trained in overcast.
They were trained in overcast. They were trained in rain.
I remember that.
They were trained into the dark. They were at race 5.
They were
6. I'm sorry.
Way up like tipplers.
Hold on.
And they weren't circling. They were just kind of going like this.
And they had a bad day. I will take bad days. Same thing. It's the same thing. I'd rather get young bird sickness well before the racing season starts than get it during the racing season. Once I get it before the season, I don't have it during the season.
Maybe a falcon went through them. A couple falcons.
Hey, guess what? That was the day. That was the day that the falcons hit them.
That's
when
right.
I took them a quarter mile and I let them out. If the falcons hit the same birds on that day, we'd be down the same amount of pigeons, wouldn't we? But those pigeons that did come home, Are they a little better than the ones that didn't? And did they learn a little bit more? There you go. Because, by the way, those birds were already at 240 miles. They had done 100, 100, 150, 150, and then they're at Latchford, right? Plus, they did all the training and all the training in between. They had a bad day.
Remember the marathon man there?
Marathon man was gone for 3 weeks.
3 weeks, and then what? Then he
lights out, super pigeon.
Yeah,
but he was gone for 3 weeks. He had to have learned something. And by the way,
in the Oshawa
by the way, when he came home, because I know what Mike's gonna say, he was in someone's loft. No, his flights were bleached. I lost him. I remember I lost him. You know where the SPCA is there on Woodbine?
Yeah, just up the road, 5 miles.
5 miles. That's where I lost the marathon man. And I showed David Tracy the pigeon, and you can look him up in the Up North Combine. His number is 57, and he's a 2007. Super pigeon.
What happened to him in the end? He gave up, didn't he?
No, we flew him, and then he ended up breeding all those good birds in the one-off races.
I can't remember now.
Yeah, we retired him as a 3-year-old. We flew him to Long Lac twice. He topped the combine at Hearst, the Hearst Open. Remember when we were having here and they wouldn't accept the money? We called them the next morning. Before they released the birds.
Yeah.
Because Grant didn't take the fucking envelope.
Yeah.
And then what did they say? No, you couldn't. And the marathon.
He was already on the truck.
He was on the truck. The marathon man and the roller coaster, first and second in the combine. Dave Ottaway won the Open. Our birds were the first 2 yearlings. They were both entered on the sheet. They got disqualified, and Dave Ottaway, he won it. Technically, but we won the combine with those 2 pigeons. There you go. That was a fun time, though. We had a great night that night. Okay. What's Mike say? Rosedale says, it learned to home. The bird that wins a race is the bird that comes home on the straightest line. That is a habit that wins races. So, Mike, if you win one race with one bird, how many times is the same bird every week? Just put it out. Win, 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 win. This is a recording. Just win, win, win. It don't work like that, Mike. You got to condition the pigeon, and not every time the pigeon gets out on the right line. If he's a little tired, a little dopey, he follows the guy to the left. He follows Mike Volante's bird a quarter mile over. Whoops. Why? Couldn't keep the pace.
Training on the line is very important.
And Mike, I agree. Training on a line, getting them lined up, drawing a line, boom, boom, boom. Right, good. That's right. You're trying to train the pigeons to take the straightest line. I get that. But to get them to do that, it's not always perfect. And the birds have to learn. I don't know anybody that does anything perfect right from the word go. If you're one of those people, please let me know. Because, fuck, I don't want to know you. Tough race, you will get who knows how to home. Here's another thing. On a smash race, pretty much, like a race that's a smash, you never want to breed out of those birds. Most of the time, they're just fluke pigeons, lucky pigeons. And like Rosedale says, they're birds that just knew how to home. They plug away. But that's what I think. Guardian Angel says, progress, not perfection, guys. One-off racing. Most early trainings losses are fanciers do not have the young birds flying well enough to home before the first trainer. I think the young birds got to get out and fly. And again, loft flying around the loft, they learn. They learn to go 5 miles that way, and they get in with Gary's birds, and they come back, and they go there, and they go there, and they go there, and they go there, and they're learning. If birds don't loft fly good enough, sure, they're more vegetable than the brain.
Well, I told you a week or two ago, I let those 10 out when I had 10. Now I have 8. And they went for a loft fly, come back 35 minutes later. They picked 4 birds up from somebody else's birds, dropped on the board. Mine went in. The guy's bird stood there for a couple seconds. Next thing, took off.
And not every year, not every group of birds loft flies the same. This year,
No.
I will give this group here out of a 10 score a 2 in wanting to loft fly.
Yeah, you're right.
And I can't, again, I can't get up there and make them fly. They gotta want to fly. They're healthy enough to fly. They can breed on the landing board and they can swim. They sure like to
What they call
dog fuck.
do the doggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that blue must be Neil's bird. Mine was a checker. Well, it's got your guys' bands on it. Does it really matter? Anyways, we're gonna see when it quits. And you know what the best thing is? Let's see if it quits. If it doesn't quit, that's interesting. Mike, can I shock you with a bird that someone talked down? Oh, you can do whatever you want. Stan says, Mike, at the end of the season, can only buy that bird. Okay. Mike, at the end of the season, can I buy that bird? No, the bird at the end of the season's mine. I'm putting the work into the bird. At the end of the season, he's not for sale. Because I'm taking care of him. He's going to be used next year.
Is he there today?
I don't know.
Oh.
It was a headwind. It was a slight little bit of headwind. Sell the bird. Rosedale, not true. One Loft Racing says, hey, put your name down, whoever you are, One Loft Racing. One Loft Racing is different animal. To keep pigeons in a back garden, the long intake, the OLRs getting all the pigeons flying well as a group, and it's tricky. It is tricky. They were the ones that couldn't do it. Okay, that's what Rosedale says. Will says, off topic. If I end up with one bird, do you think breeding off that bird? Well, first of all, let's get to the end of it, and let's see where the bird is, what the bird does, and if you have a good feeling, if you think the bird has done well. That's what I think. Good weather birds can stay home. Good weather birds can stay home. Just saying. I never said the same pigeon wins every time. I know what you said. And the same pigeon doesn't win. But you've trained your... Mike, the question is, you train your pigeons on the same line, and they all learn. The weekend you win the race with one bird, why didn't all the other ones follow that line? Because obviously the weather was right, the wind was right. It's all right. Because they're all not the same. But yes, I get what you're saying. You have to line them up. You have to train them to make as few mistakes and pick up as few bad habits as possible. That's the name of the game. I have a question. Should I get my birds tested for performance gene? Wow. Someone want to answer that? I don't even. What does that cost? $25 a bird? That's a good question. The basket will tell you. He's free of charge, but you got to put the work in. I will make you a bet, Mike. Uh-oh. Pulling flights might have slowed them down. And that's the other thing I kind of thought. That's the only thing I didn't like about the pulling of the flights. I felt it took a bit away from them. But we can look at what we have here left. Why are these ones, if they've all been pulled? Why are these ones here? Right?
That's right.
Right. So, and again, we all look at it and we make excuses. Hey, I can say, hey, Dave, 100% you're right. Pulled the flights, it didn't loft fly as good, we lost more birds. Not good for the breeders, not good for me, not good for the birds, not good on a whole overall. Okay, maybe that's why next year we say, hey, leave the flights the way they are, birds molt, and it is what it is. Balls to the wall. on the bet. Rosedale's trying to get Mike to bet. Mike will not bet. When you train, is it best? Okay, so Tracy says this. When you train, is it best to drive in a straight line to the release point, or can you drive around the town and then release them? We like to try and train them not on the road line, on the air line. So you'll drop, like, let's say you want to train up here, but there's water here. Or you want to train here, but the highway goes here. If you're real nuts, drive up and drive over to your line and let them out.
You're not nuts. That's the way it should be.
Right. Well, if you want to be more disciplined on a line, line them up.
I've actually proven it myself.
Right.
We have a highway here that's about, let's say, 1 mile west of us, called the 404. And it's a highway that goes straight up. So you don't have to use the back roads. You know, you can just get on that and go. You go up, and I've done it. I've taken them up to 10 miles, always on that highway. Drop them at 10 miles, but it's about a mile over. And I've followed birds. You take the pigeons up now to 20 miles and you pull over to the line, to your line.
Right.
And I followed the pigeons down. I've seen it more than once. I'm saying, oh, they're coming right on the line. And then all of a sudden, they hit that 10-mile spot where you stopped on that road over there.
And they
because
turn.
it was convenient for you. And they turn, and they go to that.
Then they go down.
And they go down. And then the pigeon, when he comes down, he has to fly back one mile. So he flew a mile over, comes down, has to fly a mile back. He's gone 2 miles out of his way. And a lot of times in those short races, you're going to be out
a minute,
or 3 minutes or 4 minutes. You're going to be out because of it.
We were flying in 2009 in the short program in the Up North Combine. We had trained on a line, but we took them to 10 miles about 30 times. This is how we learned this. We took them to the end of the highway.
Yeah, at that time it was the end of the highway.
We took them 30 times. These birds would not circle straight lines. They were great.
They'd come right on that field. And I'm not kidding. They'd come out of that basket.
You wouldn't believe it.
And they would fly 4 feet off the field straight like bullets.
And guys, when we would take the birds to the rock,
which was over a bit.
You guys know where the rock was, right? It's about a mile and a half over. Let them out. They go. We drive back, and then all of a sudden we'd head over to the highway. Holy shit! Yeah. I'm watching birds come over, turn and go. That year we had the most birds in champion bird points in the short program, and Joe Ferreira beat us almost every week by a half a minute or a minute. And I know what the birds were doing. They were come and turn. They were just slightly off. Yeah. The final line that we drew and brainwashed them on, that was our mistake, not the birds.
Now, if you're flying, let's say you're flying 300 miles, 350, 400, 450, that's a different story.
All right. Now, hold on.
You got distance, you got wind.
Okay, so hold on.
A little different story.
Rosedale Loft says, I don't know what Rosedale's saying here. Pigeon men, they call themselves, not us. He means something. And Mike Vanderyak says, it does not matter.
It doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. Mike, I don't think you've trained them enough times. But again, if it don't, I don't know. If it don't matter, I'm all the guys I visit, they train, they're pretty damn sworn on a line.
I know guys that'll walk out with their basket into the middle of a field.
I think it matters. I mean, it depends on how
it may not
how you are about like this in the head.
It may not matter so much if you're out, let's say 300 miles, 350, 400, 450, 500 miles. It may not matter that much. But if you're going anything I'd say under 200 miles, I think it matters.
I think you want to line them up. Well, Mike, I don't understand you. You say you want your birds to come, the bird that draws the straightest line.
I think what Mike's saying is
But if
he believes that the birds don't know a line or not a line. You know,
come on. You want me to tell you something? Birds know landmarks like humans do.
okay, what about the three-way race? You have a three-way race.
It's normally a fucking disaster. Why is that?
Usually, the guy that's flying on a north course, but then he puts his bird. We're doing a three-way race. He's going to be great on that north course, but now he switched his birds east or west. Then that's really rolling the dice for him. He doesn't know what the heck's going to happen.
Okay, Mike Peeler says, most OLRs that pull flight shut the birds down for 35 or 40 days. I mean, these birds have been shut down long enough. They're shut down. They were shut. What does shut down mean? These birds are allowed to sit out on the roof.
My guys right there.
Yeah.
They were loft flying before I cut the flights, right? I think they were going for half an hour to, let's say, an hour. Then I cut the flights. God, they sat on the roof for 2 months pretty well. And once the flights grew in, actually I started training when they were about probably an inch from full growth. They didn't want to fly either. They're just sitting around, right? So I had to say to the guys, hey, guys, come on. You're not going to sit around. I put them in the basket, and I just took them a mile. I took them a mile.
Again, I don't think here you can do the flight pull. I think you can do the flight pulling, but not for a one-off.
You have to do it on a different system.
A different style.
So you don't pull all 3 flights at once.
Yeah, maybe pull one, let it come in, pull one, let it come in. Yeah.
And when it's up about 3/4 of the way or almost full, pull the other one.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, Rosedale Loft says, I think Mike's being a prick.
Your friend there you went to see down New Jersey.
It's different. They only did 2 flights, but okay. Let's move on here from flights here for a second. Stan says they may have been stressed to extreme by pulling the flight. Maybe so. Again, at the end of the day, the ones that are there,
you got birds there.
They handled it. They've handled it. They're a little bit stronger.
You got birds there that are flying like champions.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but they're getting better.
Oh, yeah.
I will make a bet. Rosedale wants to bet Mike Vanderyak. Mike, are you having this bet? I like the lighting. Yes, so do I. I would not fly my youngsters natural if I flew them, said Rosedale.
I wouldn't either.
Dave Conover says, 1,000,000 ways to train. I'm about halfway through testing. There is no way that works 100%. We all would be doing it early, late, all directions, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Again, there's so many different ways. I think feeding, though, is a big part of it. Rosedale says 209 Mike, or 200 Mike. 200 Mike. Rosedale wants to bet you 200.
For what?
I don't know. Tracy wants to know if it would confuse the birds. I don't training them off, moving them around a bit off the. Okay, we're training these birds here to the rock. Hold on, Tracy. From our place to the rock, straight line. Where we take them to the rock, straight line. Now we're over, up at Brecken. We're off the line. Why are we there? Because I don't have a boat and I can't get out into the middle of the lake. And I don't want to go from 20 miles, not that I wouldn't. I don't want to take the one-off birds from 20 miles to 80 miles. Not that I don't think they could do it. I want to respect them, and it's okay. What I want to do is take them off the line a little bit, give them a little bit more time on the wing, let them see the body of water a little bit. So they feel it. They know when they come down, they can go to the left around. But we don't want them going around the water. We want them going over the water. Give them a few times along the edge. Then they go back up and they go over. When they go over the water, we know how long it takes by time.
I think that what you want to have the pigeons feel comfortable. It's like I worked at a company for 40 years, and I left my house every morning at 6, and I drove straight to the company. You do that after 40 years. You go to that work, you don't even have to drive the car. You could sleep, and you're going to go there. But if you have a job that every single morning you got to go somewhere else, so you're now looking at the map book. Oh, I got to go over here tomorrow morning. You don't tell him the night before he goes to work. You just send him a message. You better be there. Boom. Oh, holy jumping. I got to go down over here now. So what I'm saying is that's not very comfortable. And the pigeon's the same way. I believe you got to train the pigeon to run that same line. The best he can stay on that line is the better. If he goes a little bit off the line, he's learning, okay, that's fine too. But to change him around all the time, you're making him look in the map book. Every single time he's looking in the map book. Oh, where am I going now? Where am I going? I believe he looks in the map book. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I believe that.
Right.
It's like a dog. You let your dog out the back door to have a pee. Out the back door. Out the back door. Okay, he's 6 years old. Now, he's never been in the front yard. Let him out the front yard to have a pee. He might pee, but he's going to have a hell of a time finding his way back to the back door, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And I agree with you. Okay, so Rosedale says, Mike, you pick 5. I pick 5 on the last race. First with 5 home wins. Oh, boy. David Tracy says, Mike Vanderyak, I've trained around the clock before with good results and done well in the combine. But that's me, okay? Me, I'm not a big fan of if you're flying a combine to train them around the clock. I'm trying to a little bit more brainwash them with speed. I think around the clock is good. They learn. But that's what I'm thinking.
You think you get a smarter pigeon?
I think you get a smart pigeon. Sure. I think you learn. I think you can train birds around the clock and then get them on a line. You can do that. But I don't think.
I'd sooner first have them on the line,
right,
and then train them a little bit around the clock.
Either way.
Yeah.
I think you pick one and then the other. I don't think you do. I don't know. You are cutting the water. I'll share you something with you. Okay. The birds can shave off a little bit of that water already, but I'm not even worried about that yet. Tracy, it's not talking about training on or offline. She wants to know if you drive them around. Okay. Are they screwing up the brains? No.
I know what she's thinking. She's thinking like they're going to get screwed up because she can't cross the water.
So hold on. So today, for instance, I loaded the birds up this morning. I had to go feed birds all around. The birds came with me in the truck. Drove over there. Drove down to the city. Drove back up. Bounce. Getting them thinking. That doesn't bother me.
Now, before you let them birds out, did you go in the parking lot with your pickup truck and circle around the parking lot for 20 minutes?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I did. Okay, so Dave Conover says, guys beat me every week in a club that train in opposite direction. I have seen it. Now, again...
They may be feeding better.
Hold on.
Not better feed, but have the feed regulated better. They may be loft flying more than you are. And that's what I'm looking at. There could be a few things there that's adding up.
They could be training in the morning different, in the evening different. They could be training twice a day. They could have them on a line one way and telling you, I'm training them this way in the evening. You know how pigeon guys are. Don't believe everything they tell you. But hey.
No, there's something.
Everyone.
They tell you everything right except for one thing.
Yeah,
Right, one thing,
yeah,
right?
that's right.
Right,
That's right.
one
Oh,
thing.
let me ask you, Volker, good pigeon flyer. He trained the birds to Georgetown, right?
Mhm.
And his son, Warner, he's on the show, would take him to Bradford in the evening, on the line, on the line. Now, I would like to ask Warner, did you first start getting him on a line from Bradford? I will bet you he did. Bet you they did. Anyways, it doesn't matter because, again, you can train them however the hell you want as long as you're getting a result. Took birds to work, says Dave Conover. Oh, yeah, took the birds to work. Wonder what they did in the evening. Eddie Ortiz agrees with Ricky. Google it. Rosedale, you're all over the board, man. I don't know where Rosedale's at tonight. I agree with Richard. They are like robots. That's what Franco says. Stay on the line of flight. I think pretty much to stay on a line, somewhat of a line. I know last year.
Hey, we
Hold
are.
Hold on.
Listen, we are human. Is an animal of habit. An animal of habit. 99% of us, an animal of habit. I know guys that went to work for 35 years, every day went to work, and they retired on the Friday, and because they thought, I ain't going to work on Monday, I'm finished, died.
Yeah.
Because the habit got broken, okay? So a pigeon is the same thing. It's an animal of habit. Gets up, plug, flies to the field, comes back, whatever. Animal of habit. It's a beast of habit. A deer walks the same trail through the woods. There's a deer path. He does that same trail. A rabbit does the same thing. An animal of habit, right? So soon you break those habits. I think it has something to do with screw them up.
And hold on.
It's like having a pigeon in one section.
Hold on.
And turn around next week, take him from that section, put him in another section. You're going to screw his brain up. You will screw his brain up. How many guys Dean Pallett said, I think? They start a young bird in one section. He stays there till he's flown 4 years.
In the same loft.
In the same loft, in that section. That's his house. My house. This is my house.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to get to this.
I'm not jumping around from house to house.
Okay, hold on.
This is my house.
So Dave Conover then comes back and says, my great uncle, but trained on a line, and he won tons on the line. I'm not saying training off a line is bad, but I think you've got to line them up a certain way. There's a point here, and then you can do some different training. Okay, fine. I would line them up. I would focus them and get them on a line. Then, if you want to dabble, taking them, great. And if you're training to the north on a line, my first dabble would be going dead south. So they're still on this same line instead of going this way or this way. But anyways, okay. Hoffelhofer, I screw up your name. I call you Hoffelhofer Farms. You got birds in the race. Birds are in a pattern of performance. Strong every other day. Strong every other day. So he believes birds are in pattern of performance. Strong every other day. Maybe so. That's a good way to look at it. If birds go off the line, if birds go off the flight, if the birds go off the flight, that's on them. That's right. And they're learning. They're learning.
They go only jumping. I don't want to make that mistake again.
They're learning. Again, I've never seen pigeons from the word go be perfect. We've never had it. I've never seen it. Rosedale shouldn't be. Those ones are there ahead. Okay. Dave Conover says Ricky is right. I want to bet Mike. Rosedale, Mike will not bet you. I'm going to tell you. I ask, I fly that race, I'll fly against that race. When there's nothing there, they don't play. That's it. You don't keep beating a dead horse. He's not going to bet you. What's the point? When you know, you bet. When you don't know, you don't bet. Why do they all leave one thing out? Well, because listen, a pigeon man is worried about getting beat. But actually, I don't know if pigeon men leave it out, but I think people don't listen. That's what I think.
I know years ago, 40-something years ago, I had a fella come over. I'm not going to mention his name. And he told me all the pigeons in your loft, if their slit is closed in the mouth, they're all garbage.
Right.
After he left,
you believed it.
I went out and killed all the pigeons that were that. And that was a bullshit line.
That was a bullshit line.
Okay, so
it's the same thing. Can you guarantee me on iSign the breed champions and the race winners? Can you do it?
That's bullshit.
It's fucking bullshit.
It really is.
We like beautiful eyes. We like to dream, and we like to do. But you want to talk about crocks of shit? The iSign is a feel-good crock of shit.
It really is.
Oh,
I think so.
Now,
I think so.
Mike says, whatever direction one trains from, the birds hopefully will fly a direct line from the release to home. That is what they need to do to win a race. And that is correct. That is exactly what probably Mike was meaning from start to finish. And I agree, Mike, they need to do that. But do they do that? Because if you take them 20 miles, or you take them 50 miles, or you take them 100 miles, do they always do it? Is every day perfect?
I think we can get into talking about drag.
I don't want to get into that.
Hold on. We don't want to get into it, but I'm saying if your pigeons are in good shape, physical condition, proper feeding, I'm saying not overfed, they got to be proper.
Okay.
If they are mentally trained to go on that line.
Okay.
When they got a trailer, just hold on, with 1,000 pigeons, your suckers are in there going, and guys will say, I'm not in the line of flight. And your 15 pigeons are like, bang. They're out of that trailer, and they're hooking, and they're gone. They create the drag, as far as I'm concerned.
And again, wind does play a
well, wind has a part of it.
Okay, so hold on. Let's not. I don't want to get into drag.
We don't want to get into drag. We're going to be here all night.
Pete says, I think where you train your pigeons, offline or online, of the flight depends on the course that you are flying. And it is true. I think it's whatever you want, whatever you believe. But I think to help them build speed and confidence, try and get them lined up to the line for you.
That's
for your loft.
Their comfort, yeah.
The comfort zone. And repetitive training on that line builds confidence. Okay? But not every day it will be perfect. You could be training them 30 times and they're ripping it off. And the 31st time you let them out, they get up and they hit Gary's birds that just let up 5 miles away. Gary's got 50 birds and they're feeling great. Your birds come down and hit theirs. Gary's birds are all over the map. And guess what your birds do? They're feeling good. You know what they decide to do that one moment?
Go for a fly with Gary's.
Go for a little fly with Gary's. And now guess what?
They end up in
They end up starting to learn. Right, Mike? They start to learn. Oops.
That's learning.
We got a little smarter today. And some of those, they don't come back. Because they get from Gary's birds to Keith's birds, from Keith's birds to Anthony's birds. And then they're bushed out and they're 100 miles off their robotic line that you trained them on. There you go. Let's keep rolling. Rosedale says he wants to bet Mike. Be a man. He's calling Mike out now. Mike, can you please make some fucking
Bet
him? Bet him
a cheeseburger or something.
Pigeon men don't listen. This is the most brilliant thing Ryan has ever said. Yeah, Pigeon. I don't listen. Sure, I think my own way. Don't listen to me. Thanks, Mike.
Or hey, listen, pigeon men don't remember half the stuff they should be listening to. And remember, half the stuff you listen to is a pile of crap. So you have to kind of figure it out.
I don't know. And every year's different. Every year's not the same. If it was the same, if this sport would be boring. Brian Mansker says, good evening. Josh Tripley says, looks and sounds good. Okay. Got beaten. Rosedale says this. Got beaten and wanting to eliminate competition. Got beaten and wanting to eliminate competition. Mike Parrish says this. Ricky is dead on. Birds have to be a leader, not a follower.
That's right. And if your pigeons are in better condition, physically and mentally, focused, bang, bang. They're just going to blow the guys away.
What would we do differently next year? Like I just said, I think leave them complete natural. I mean, what else?
I think the reason we did it this year was because we wanted full wings.
We wanted
the heads to be full,
a little
the coverage full.
We didn't want to darken.
That's right.
And you know what? It would be nice to be able to be. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, just stop that. You got the spoons the wrong way. Okay, what would you do differently next year? What would I do? Again, I like to see birds loft fly a lot better this year. I mean, even still, the other day we let them out for a loft fly. We have 50, 60. You just go up, they're flying real good. We still got another 30, 40. They're not interested. They're coming from training.
I don't know. Maybe mentally they're couch potatoes.
Yeah, and we're not saying they're bad. We're just saying every year is different.
But we're getting in.
And we had to, the other thing was, if we had all the time in the world, we could have sat on these birds like everyone else seems to do and wait for them to start flying or sit here. But there's a point where we have to start playing the game or we're not going to get the game done.
Well now, another couple weeks here, we're getting into the hawk season.
Right.
Coming through. So those 60, 50, 40 that want to sit in the roof and screw around, they're going to start flying for sure.
And here's the thing. The other races around us, you've got the Upper Canada one loft race. They're not doing anything. The other one in Niagara, they're not doing nothing. We're at 50 miles. We're going to be hopefully at 100 miles by the end of the week. And I'm not sure, but where is all their time? How are you going to train these birds somewhat respectfully and get the job done? But we don't have to worry about that. Really, because you want to know why? The people have learned. Don't show them nothing. They'll just come back. Anyways, Rosedale Loft says, okay, Rosedale, what did you hear? Could you spit it out, Rosedale? Shame on the NNRPA. No, that's Mike's combine. Suggestion, shorter intake window. Sure, shorter intake window would be great. Next year, guys, we have 10 days like we normally do. Get all the birds here. Americans, send them at this time, that time. You know what you try and do? And here's the other thing. You try and make it nice for people, good for people. You kiss people's ass.
You have a larger window.
Larger intake. You know what you call guys? Oh, my breeding's not good. I'm not going to make it. Oh, I'm going away, not going to make it. All this, all that. A guy calls you 3 weeks later. My birds are ready. This and that. Want me to tell you? Everyone's got a story of what's the perfect intake. I like a 10-day or a 15-day intake. I think that's good. But if you answer my phone calls, you get a lot of people say they won't come, they can't come, they won't be ready. But I guess you say to them, hey, go to another race. Maybe we're going to have a smaller intake. I like a smaller intake to start it off all as one. I think that's fine. Again, there's no sense here getting birds before the last week of April is the best time to get them. The last week of April to the first week of May, because you can let them out with less hawk problems. I think I got to set up an OLR with my friend. I think I got to set up an OLR with Rosedale. I don't understand what you're saying. Good morning, sir. How are you? I need pigeon training. Okay, let me know what you need. Jordan Polson says, hello. I don't know where Rosedale is. Rosedale wants to make bets. He's all over the place. I hope you're not into the Jaeger. Sure, but again, I can't even look at next season until I'm done this season. You know, how do you always adjust, but you think of things. We're not even finished yet. Over. Oh, Rosedale wants to be there with me. Okay, everyone is welcome. Again, on all of our training, you can come. Or you want to come to the races, you can come.
So when's the graduation on the 50-miler?
I think it will be on Wednesday. So pick birds for the 50-miler. Or Brecken, which is the 50-miler. I think they should be in by tomorrow, after tomorrow's training. Again, I think the pot's at $230. So people just aren't picking, which, again, a little bit discouraging. Where's Gloria tonight, says Tracy. Tracy, why would you say Gloria? She found last week all of her money.
What's that song? Gloria.
Gloria. With her children. No, she sold the children to some probably slavery thing, and she's rich now, and she doesn't have to worry, because if they sell the kids are going to be fine. How many did we end up getting back from the toss? 132 out of 141. Isn't it kind of funny? The 10 birds that normally don't like to come out of the basket, are they the same birds? We're out 10. So I would say at least 7 of them aren't there. Michael Peevler. She has a problem with her Panani. Oh boy, Michael Peevler's all over the board tonight, guys.
She's got a problem with her honey.
Yeah, you know what? We don't even know where Michael Peevler's going. We know one thing: he bakes a lot of cookies. Chips Ahoy is our favorite. Michael Peevler.
I know. I think it was last year. We went to Englehart, and Jerome came with me, and we liberated. And the birds all came out, okay, except for one bird. It stayed in, and I got the stick, and I pushed him out. Mm-hmm. Out he went. The rest of them were already friggin' flying. Like, they were going, right? Gone. Mm-hmm. The pigeon came out, and there was a tanker parked, and it flew on the tanker, right? And just sat there. And I went over, and I started... Come on, get going. And then Dick was there from Englehart. Yeah. He comes to watch. He's a pigeon flyer from up in that area.
Right.
He went up the ladder on the tanker and scared the pigeon off. You asked Jerome, we couldn't believe it. The pigeon flew 279 miles. I said, this thing will never be back.
How do we know that was the bird?
Oh, because we know it was a grizzle.
Oh, it was Troy's grizzle.
Yeah. And I said, what was it? Oh, Troy was on the truck with his birds too.
Yeah, right? That's right. Yeah.
And it flew all the way from there to Troy's place by itself because the rest of them were gone. Done. So the next week, Troy came and we said, hey, Troy, did you get a grizzle in?
Yeah, and he only had one grizzle.
One grizzle.
Where is Troy?
And it came all by itself. And it was going to sit on that tanker. If Dick didn't scare the thing off, it'd have sat there for 2 hours, 3 hours, until the truck moved.
Yeah, until
surprising.
Well, I'm going to say, good fun show tonight. We were on an hour and 51 minutes. We want to go to bed early tonight. One Loft Racing, Loft Revolution, big double-sided doors, Avery's full length of the loft would be something I would change for improvement. Yeah, double-sided doors. If I could have a perfect property, I wouldn't have the lofts. I'd have them different, sure.
I think the perfect pigeon loft
is the one you don't own.
Is have them roosting in a tree at night. Yeah. A pigeon loft is only for the pigeon keeper. It's not for the pigeon. The pigeon likes to live on rocks.
Hold on.
Ledges.
Last year, the same group of pigeons lived in there. The year before, the same group of pigeons. Would a nice big aviary be great? Yeah. It'd be great. It would be great. It would be great. It would look great. Would it feel great? Right. When the birds are done being in the aviary, I want them outside. I don't want them in an aviary. So I don't need the loft with big aviaries on it.
No, that's right.
The outside's the aviary. But does it look great? Yeah, sure. Put big aviary. Look at the goddamn, look at the race there in Texas or the Florida Pigeon Derby. The whole thing's a big aviary. Okay, good. They got 10 months with the pigeons. We don't have that here.
I think that makes it.
But again,
we have an aviary here. It's all closed in with trees.
It is.
It's a beautiful aviary.
Renovation. Oh yeah. Well, we'll see about renovating. Okay, so the Guardian Angel says, is eye sign theory just, or is there more to it than that? I think eye sign is nice. It looks great. It makes you feel good, but I don't know how much you can bet on it. Use a commercial young bird race feed that has been imported from Belgium and be an improvement. No. If it's a one-loft race, just hold on. Hold on. If it's a one-loft race, what is the difference? Those birds, they're eating a mix. I can't see what an imported feed from Belgium is going to make your result better at birds coming home.
I really think there's a lot of that feed in there that just go in and comes out.
I asked.
In other words, it looks good, but it's not. You're paying for stuff that looks real good, but it really all it does is go in and it comes out. It's doing nothing for them. You understand me? I can. Okay, let me give you.
Can I ask you one question? Can I ask you one question? It's been what, the last 10 years we've had feed in this country that can come from Belgium? 10 years? It's been about 10 years.
Right.
What did you all race with before then? The cow shit we got here. The same shit. And by the way, it's all a one-loft race. If we feed them 100% corn 7 days a week, that's what they're eating. But we don't. We give them corn,
what I'm
barley,
saying is
beans.
Exactly. That's what
we're giving them a mix.
What we're feeding. I'm going to tell you.
The
hold on. Went 50 miles today.
Hold on.
Those birds went 50 miles today, and we got. I'm just saying.
Hold on.
3 birds in less than an hour.
Hold on. If you want, I can really bullshit you all. Go buy me a bag of Versalaga. Get me a drum to mix it in. Every time I do a show, no. I won't show the birds feeding at all. I won't show any of that. But one time I'll show you me mixing Versalaga feed. You know what you all think? That's what I'm feeding. I show it to you in black and white. My question is, why are there still birds here? Same last year. We used most of this stuff until the end. We used some different stuff. That's it. I don't think a big commercial brand of feed makes a difference.
Hey,
Not at all.
Hey, you went to visit the man there that was deaf and mute guy.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
What's,
Van Laar.
Yeah. What's he feeding and what damage does he make?
Hold on. It's the same thing. You ask any of the big names, you could feed one grain. What would they say? Corn. Corn. Corn, corn, corn. Emil Denny's. What does he say with most of the feeds? It's nice. It looks good. It's built for the man. Most of the pigeons take the food in and shit it out. They get nothing from it. Not nothing from it.
I'm saying you're paying for that in and out. I mean, I'm just saying, handle my young birds. Beautiful, buoyant, got that nice bit of muscle on them. Controlling how much you feed is a big thing.
Again,
big thing.
Again, this is everyone's. This is why this race is not for everyone.
Hey, listen, my friend. I know a champion tippler flyer. Oscar is his name, right? Remember Oscar? Champion tippler flyer. Champion. Flying 20-something hours in races. Feeds barley. He says, told me, he said, I can raise top-notch youngsters on just feeding barley. This guy, I'm telling you, champion.
We're not saying that's what you're going to do.
That's not what you're going to do.
He was being hypothetical.
A lot of people would say, "Oh, this guy's ridiculous." This guy's nothing to joke about. This guy, okay?
I'm telling you.
And he said he helped another pigeon man in Mississauga Club or whatever it was.
Can I ask you?
He said the guy won races. He said, "I'll show him how to feed race pigeons without even really training them." And this guy was making his buddy win races. Tippler flyer, right?
It's about feed, yeah.
Yeah, feeding is a big, large thing.
Okay.
You know.
Can I ask you something? Should the goddamn birds be able to loft fly on corn, wheat, barley, a little bit of pellets, some beans? Should they be able to grow? Should they be able to raise, or should they be able to loft fly? And hold on, should they be able on that to get to 100 miles? No problem.
No problem.
Well, anybody that has Versalaga bags, send them over. Why? We're going to put our mix into the bag. We're going to put that mix into a bag. So it looks like it's right from Belgium. You know what? The pigeons that finish this, they'll be tougher than the Hoosier birds. They'll be tougher than any of those ones in the other states. Because why? You've seen it all.
You know,
and if your birds need the high dollar shit, we give them the high dollar shit when it's time. Right now, they have to earn me to go buy them that good feed. They earn it yet? They worked hard enough for it yet? I don't think so. But hey, if I have to get people in to buy a fucking skid of this feed, I'll tell you, they won't get it until they earned it.
Hey, listen, there's a feed store up the road, and they sell a mix, okay? They got it bagged, and they have a label on it that says, this is so-and-so's mix. He's a super flyer in the combine, okay? So guys are going, well, I got to buy that mix because I'm going to start winning all the races because I bought his mix. Do you want to know something? There's a lot of stones to turn. before you get to what that guy is in his feed. He says it's in his feed, but how many stones does he turn before he gets here? So that is bullshit. I know guys that bought guys' houses. Do you know that so-and-so used to live here? Top-notch flyer. Soon he dies, I'm buying his house. Bang, he bought his house. And he thought, I'm going to win everything around here. Guess what? The guy couldn't even make the sheet. You understand me?
Clarence tried it.
Yeah, he couldn't make the sheet. So it's like a lot of bullshit. You know what I mean? Bullshit.
Okay. So Hufflehofer Farm says, I give premium feed to birds. I sent you. I feed corn, barley, and pellets to the other set. The birds will tell the story. The birds will tell the story. The good birds are the good birds. But again, I guess we show too much. Because, like One Loft says, you should have an Avery on the loft. Fuck it. I shouldn't even show you the loft. Then I shouldn't show you the feed. Because by showing you the feed, you cast the stone of why the birds get lost. Oh, you get more people. Sure, you get more people. Okay.
I know an old friend. He's been gone 30 years at least. At least 30 years, maybe. Yes, maybe close to 40 years been passed.
Right.
I said to him, Norm, you go there in the wintertime. I says, man, your pigeons look dynamite. How the heck do you do it? You know what he said?
What?
I feed him a loaf of bread a day. I take a loaf of bread. He didn't have many birds. And he said, they get this, this, and this. A loaf of bread a day. And I give them clean water. That's it. I couldn't believe the sparkle, the wattles, the condition was perfect. He's honest with me. Right? And I'm not saying feed a loaf of bread a day, but what I'm saying, you couldn't believe it.
The problem is,
it's become too much commercialized.
It's commercial. And we show too much.
Do you want me to go get the red cock?
No.
Do you want me to
I'm not interested in the red cock.
Or any of my birds.
I'm not interested in any of it. What I learned, and you can see here, is the One Loft race guy, he is right. You should have a premium feed. Because...
in a glass container.
Right. Smoke and mirrors. Because you think all these races with the premium feed, you think when the camera's not on, you think they're back to the cheapest shit they can feed? Because what are they doing? Saving their money.
Listen, you and I, we went down, I don't know how many years ago, until we figured out, we're talking about Mike Gannis.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, hold on. No, One Loft Racing. I'm not getting offended. No. But I'm like, no, hold on. He says, I've asked for suggestions. Hold on. Feeding, yes, I get what you're saying on feeding. But if I'm going to fly in a combine, I'm going to use corn. I'm going to use wheat. I'm going to use barley. Those are three things I'm going to use. And I'm actually going to cut back on wheat, use a hell of a lot of corn, okay, some barley. And then when it's time, when we get to the time, we're going to then give them the fats. But right now, we're not in that time. We got enough of what we got. We got some beans, a little bit of beans we're using, but that's it. But we show.
We went down, we visit this one guy one time.
We're all right.
He's
One-off race.
He's selling
bring on the red.
$1,000 pigeons.
You want to bring that red?
Yeah.
Go get him.
When he went to get a pigeon for us down the back room, he had all these feed boxes.
Yeah.
And he was over there. I said, oh, let's look in the feed box. I said, okay, yeah.
Ooh, first thing.
All corn. It's all freaking corn. But the pigeons,
hold on.
Pigeons were gorgeous.
He won the $1 million race. He's won Victoria Falls, and he's won Pattaya.
And
he won all three of those races. So you guys figure out who it was. But what did he have?
He also said, I got this weekend, I have 140 youngsters hatching out
Yeah.
this weekend. And we went, oh.
We went, hey, it seems like we all feed the same.
Oh,
The
shit.
magic of reindeer. Do you want to get the red? They want to see the red. Hurry up.
Is that the one we did the experiment on the flights?
Yeah.
The champion? Okay, champion.
Hey, are you feeding that shit in there anything better?
No.
Okay, good. Don't lie to me.
Wait a minute.
Go.
There's always a pigeon man.
Run.
Tells one thing out of 100, one thing is a lie.
Go.
And you have to figure out which is the one thing.
Okay. I will. Go get it. We're having fun. But no, suggestions are good.
You know what?
Okay, can you go get the bird? I've been on for 2 hours. Let's fucking go.
We were going to go to bed at 8:30.
Yeah,
now I can't
I'm
sleep
tired.
tonight.
I'm worn out. I can't sleep.
Rosedale lost. Where is he? Did he fall asleep?
No, Rosedale. Rosedale, where's the bet? Okay, hold on. Does somebody want to bet Rosedale? Forget Mike. Mike's out of gambling. Hufflepuff Farms. I'm horrible with your name. Every time I say it, I cringe. Your communication and openness is why we send birds. And next year, at least I can see what I see. Again, we want you guys to feel a part of it. And again, birds have great appetite, nice bodies. Nothing wrong. I'm about to fall asleep. Dave, don't fall asleep. You've had too many Modelo's. Would you do the lighting? Okay, we read that one already. Thanks. Okay, Ricky's sprinting. We're going to show the red. It's had a couple firsts in training. Ooh. And we'll go from there, and then we'll wrap this up. We wait for Ricky. Again, everything that we show you, sometimes you'll like it, and sometimes you won't. Again, if you come here on the weekends to handle auction birds, people say, I don't know what you feed them to get them so nice. If I showed you, you wouldn't believe it. And if you think we're lying, ask people that come. Ask people like Rosedale. Ask the people that come and handle the birds. Are there a lot of people that are on? No. We feed them a certain way. And I don't think I think the commercial mixes are great to a point, but are they a little over? I think they are. That's all I'm saying. But I agree. For marketing and stuff, sure. Again, our backyard is not the perfectest for a one-loft race. Again, are these my most perfect lofts and exactly what I want? No. I have to make do with what we have. But it's not horrible. I mean, we've flown here 4 years. This year, hey, not the same year. You are doing the best and showing the best. Love all the drive back. Love the drive back, yeah. And again, we take the birds training. We want to show you this stuff. We want you guys to be a part of it. And in our season, there's going to be things that you won't like. Training maybe too late, not in the morning, or things that you do like. Oh, I like that he uses this. You're going to see a nice pigeon on the same feeding system. And again, I say to people, how many people have come to our showroom for auction birds? And they say, I don't know how you get the birds to handle so good. The body's so good. The feather's so good. Do we use a commercial grade feed? No. Let me handle him. I haven't handled him in a while. He's looking good.
Don't be so loud, please.
Fuck, just give me the damn pigeon. I know, Ricky.
Don't hold him up like that.
Okay, don't do me a favor. Don't you ever again tell me how to handle this shit. Okay? Don't get so excited, because you know what? We don't know if this shit can go any further.
Remember, he had good vent bones before I brought him in.
Yeah, he's looking good.
You still got the thing on there with?
Oh, we're gonna look
His experiment.
His experimental line, yeah.
Yeah, he's still got the experimental.
Still got the black line on the flight. That's where we measured him up. Vents are nice. He's strong.
Oh,
very nice.
He's nice.
You fed them heavier. You fed them heavier than mine.
Do you want me to bring in his girlfriend?
Nope, not interested. We only want to see one.
You like them. How come you got goosebumps on your
There's
arms?
no goosebumps. The mouth is nice and clean, pale,
Nice.
pink, soft. Feathers are good. He's got the nice hackle on the neck.
And he's got a nice dark red complexion.
That's the Van Riet hackle.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's a Van Riet. What's the red from? Oh, just Van Riet's. Back is nice. Comes up a little bit.
Like a Van Riet.
He's a little short from the keel to the vent, but he's nice. And he's got good muscle and a little bit of depth. And fairly blown out. Jesse Catania. Oh, we already read that one. Where can I purchase a copy of that Top Collections 13 book? We are going to have that at the Perth Amboy auction. Hold on, I'll show it to you here. We will be giving them away to the lucky buyers in that auction. If you purchase a pigeon from this sale right here, and we have to add one more breeder, which is it's a father-daughter team. Leandra and Geert Munich from the Netherlands, they will be there as well. That champion book, though, that you were talking about, that's where you're going to be able to get one. We're not selling them. The buyers of the birds, I believe, will get a copy of the book. We might have a couple raffles where we'll give a few away. But let's see. Seven Hills, great show. Thank you. But there he is.
He's a darn nice pigeon. He's curious, too.
Feeding a non-commercial feed.
And I'll bring in every single one. But remember, I only got 8 left out of 34 I started with.
He's nice.
He is nice.
He's nice. Very strong. Great show. Thank you. What's the secret to soft feather? What's the secret to talk softly to him? Well, no, he just... Sometimes when you're loud...
He's too loud.
Okay, Derek. All right, Derek.
I'm just saying you're too loud.
He's nice. Here, take him back.
Do you want to see his girlfriend?
You brought her up, didn't you?
I'll bring her.
No, we don't want to see her.
She's gorgeous.
We don't want to see her. He's nice.
He's nice. Yeah.
They got bigger bodies than mine. They got bigger bodies.
I'm going to bring his girlfriend up for you.
We don't really want to see his girlfriend. We've been on for 2 hours and 13 minutes. I don't think these people want to see this anymore.
We can't sleep anymore.
I can.
Okay, I got to bring the girlfriend. Give me 1 second.
I don't want you to fall in your Crocs. Are those my shorts?
My red shorts?
Did you wear your sunglasses out to the loft in the dark? Oh, we're having fun. Bring on the girlfriend, Mike. I like good suggestions, and sometimes you get sensitive to the suggestions. But yeah, I think if I was to build if I had the right property, I have my loft up about 10 feet off the ground. I'd have it set up differently. I would like to have nice large aviaries, big ones. Yes, I would like that. But I can't do that here. I have to work within my what we have. So, and commercial feed, I love it. It is good to a point. What else are we talking about? Let's see. More comments as we wait. For Ricky, again, the Pigeon Boss Tour. You can come. You can meet the breeders. You can ask them what they feed. You can ask them what their favorite things to feed are, what their secrets are. Come on the tour. I got to get my hands on one of them. Literally worth its weight in gold. Oh. How come some pigeons fill out during the race season and others don't? Better muscles, better genetics. You know, not everyone, again, when I was growing up, I was the tallest kid in my class, in my school. I was the tallest till I got to high school. Then once I got to I don't know, I'm only 6 foot. How many people are way taller? You know, it's different. People fill out differently. Eddie Ortiz had a first. Okay, we read that one. Nobody cares. I think in the air. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, we read all that. Ricky's got this girlfriend. I'm going to show you the copy of the book. I think this is the book you want to see. We'll let Ricky show this bird. Here he comes. Okay, Ricky, show this bird. I'm going to get a copy of the book.
Where? Here, I'll let you do it.
No, you show. Do you don't want to get the copy of the red book that's in there in the living room? There's a flashlight. Should be by the blue couch.
I got that flashlight there.
Okay. Holy crap. This is like you making a big deal of it. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Is this? Oh, this is the 93. This is the hen you like. Yeah. She's cleaning up. Very small hen. She's nice, eh? Not as nice as him, but she's nice. Real strong back. Almost too much pulling down. I like his back better. Don't you think I'm right on the back on that?
He's got a stronger back in the end.
In the end, yeah. I mean, this back.
He's got a real nice back, but his back is more muscle on the back.
He's got double the muscle of her.
Yeah, but remember, she's a hen.
Yeah, I know. She's still nice, though.
She's still nice. She's very buoyant.
She's very buoyant.
Yeah.
And the vents are very nice.
She's got better vents than him.
A little stronger.
She's a little bit tighter.
Yeah, looks good. He's got a bit tighter feather. Oh, yeah, the mouths look real nice. Even your mouths are a little nicer than mine.
She's very tight. Once I put some more muscle on her, she's going to be very, very nice.
There you go. I was trying to see if I could see that book, but
I couldn't find it.
Well, we know you couldn't. Anyways, I'll have to get it for another night.
Now, as you see, do you feel the silk in the feather?
Yeah, very soft.
But they're going through the tail molt now. Molts.
Molting the tails out a little bit. We will train again tomorrow. Again, it'll be an afternoon trainer.
Give me a minute. I'll be back. I want to show people before we leave.
No, I don't want to show another bird.
Don't cancel.
I don't want
showing another bird.
What do you want to do?
Something special for the people.
I don't. These people don't care anymore. Dad, this is called beating a dead horse. See, you guys did this to him. You all did it to him. Let me see here. Let me go see if I can find this book. Make sure this is the book you're talking about. 1 second. We're gonna leave the camera here for a second. Oh, where was the book? Right in front of his face. Oh, here you go. This was the book you were looking for. This one here, each one I've got autographed. Let's see. For you guys wondering what it looks like, let's switch over to here. Let's go to here so you can see. Oh, hold on. There you go. See the book. These are some nice books. All different breeders. Emil Denny's. There you go. Look at this one, autographed. There's Emil Denny's autograph right there on this book. This was given to me by Emil. Nicholas Norman, Xavier Verstrada, Emil and Frank Denny's, Gino Clicks on here, and more. Okay. On the back, more guys. These are everybody that's in the book. So we will have these at the event. Yep, that's the book. Is there any other way I can get a copy? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll put one up for sale. Maybe I can put one up for sale. Where are you watching from? Bingo soon? Well, hey, we got to sell out bingo. You know, if we don't sell out bingo, Tracy, how am I going to play bingo if nobody plays? Guys, we got round 16. There's squares available. You know, get on there and play. I'm not allowed to play. Would I like to play? Sure. You know what? If we get the bingo going, maybe on round 17, I'll give a book away. Okay, what did you want to show?
The show over?
No, but I'm going to wrap it up. What do you want to show?
I just want to show the people what we're going to be doing after the show.
What are we doing? No, I don't. No. Oh, yeah. What are we doing after the show?
Okay, folks, remember, you should feel like a kid at least once a day.
Chocolate pudding.
Chocolate pudding tonight after the show.
What are we doing on here? Hey, guys, we wanted this.
We got the spoons.
We only wanted this show to be an hour. It was longer than that. I'm watching from Rochester. Hey, garbage plate. So you know what? Round 17, we'll put one of these books in for Pigeon Bingo. But we got to sell 16 first.
And it even has a bookmarker in it. So let's say you're in the bathroom, you're finished, you put your bookmarker in, leave it right there in the bathroom. Next time you go back, you open right up and read again.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Very good.
So,
real good.
We'll be on tomorrow training. Birds are going to get basketed. And good night to everyone. Thanks for tuning in. A great Monday night show. Thanks for all the tips.
Chocolate pudding.
Nobody take anything personally. If you want to bet Rosedale, he's into it. Are we going to make improvements again next season? We will. We may have commercial feed. We may not. We may put Avery's on. We may not. But one thing you will know is that we will show you everything. Have a great evening, guys. Take care. Remember, Pigeon Boss Tour, only 6 spots left.